What have you accomplished in life as an adult?
Okay, as an adult, okay, I've been an adult a long time too.
Mm.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. Like I ain't gonna answer you directly. Okay, all the shit you just heard, all that stuff about throwing these things, I said, and bubble gum and all the stuff. That was what you call extracurricular activity. You know, see, I always went to school. See, I meant to show you. I didn't get around to show you my AA folder from Edison, my stuff from camp. Okay, and so on. Okay, even though got in hassles all the time, I still went to school. See, I ain't exactly dumb. I just look like this. Okay, now when you guys heard me talking, you heard me say these, those, them, and all that kind of stuff. That's Afro English. See, I didn't say certain things like like in other words, what y'all doing, like what y'all doing, instead of is what are you guys doing? I don't talk like that. See, and people look at you and they look at the things. Oh, that nigga right there, look at me, can't even say this right, and he can't say that. But that's what you think. See, we ain't worried about what you think; it's what you know. See, now I can get real prim and proper if I need to, but that ain't me. Okay, now, like I said, I didn't play no sports. Okay, well, ain't good in English, ain't good in math, can't dance, my jokes ain't funny, and all that kind of stuff. But let's do some paperwork. Okay, I went to elementary, junior high school, and high school. Okay, I got kicked out of Fremont in '59 and went to Reese. And from Reese, I got kicked out and went to juvenile camp. And when I was in juvenile camp, okay, you had to go to school too. See, I was a senior clerk of the school, and I was boy leader. Plus, my group of people, which were the Red Sox, every month you have a competition between all the other guys in there for road work and firefighting and all of that kind of stuff. Well, we held it for 6 months. We held it longer than anybody at that time. They don't even fight fires no more. Okay, and plus I was fire chief. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, on some of my paperwork from school, there are notations with like A's and B pluses here sometimes, straight A pluses, and then with notations, don't forget to go to college. Okay, now when I was in camp, I could have graduated in camp from school in December of 1960. Okay, but my mother, said that wasn't a real school. But it was Antelope Valley School District. But in 1960, who in the hell heard of Antelope Valley? And I didn't even like the way it sounded. And like antelopes and stuff running around the place. So what I did, I was supposed to graduate in January or the winter of 61. But see, I didn't get out of camp till December 23rd of 60, which is, just say a week before I was, a week or so before I was going to graduate. So I did an extra semester for my parents. Okay, so I was supposed to be a Thalian. So I graduated with the Felicians of summer 61. Okay, now when I graduated, I partied and I bullshitted all summer, and I bullshitted and I partied all summer. But when September came, I was at Trade Tech. I'd already enrolled. I was at Trade Tech. I did from September 61 to February of 62, but I got busted in 62 with a piece right in front of about Auditorium Fremont. Somebody told on me. And then because the man came right to my car and knew where the piece was. Okay, so I did a semester at Trade Tech. Okay, and so what happens from there, I don't go to school no more for almost 10 years because I'm in the streets getting shot at, shot up, stabbed, fighting, ripping and running and partying and bullshitting and partying. But one day I jumped up and went to summer school in 1969 at LA City College. But I couldn't go full time because I was on scholastic probation because I didn't finish up at Trade Tech. And so what happens is I do 69 summer, 70 summer, night school 71. Okay, then in 72 I get a letter from City College that I'm off of scholastic probation and I could go to school. So I went to City College, okay, and I had done 2 semesters, and a letter came here to this house, but I didn't live here. Okay, my mother, you know, called everybody in the family, called all the way back to Texas. Talk about, yeah, he's in college, but I'd already done 2 semesters, but I just didn't say nothing to nobody. And I graduated from City College in '74, but I didn't walk, and I didn't do anything, I didn't tell anybody anything. Okay, so after I fulfilled the curriculum at City College, I took all of the subjects that I was interested in, see, which was all the things related to Afro studies. Now, I don't know if you've seen my books up there. Okay, anything that got to do something with black, I got a book on it. See, I had a history of Africa. I had a history of Africa, Oceania, and ancient America. I had history of the United States, which is 11 and 12. Okay, and that's the United States before the Civil War, United States after the Civil War. I had history of Spain and Portugal. I had history of Latin America. I had history of Japan. Okay, I had Japanese, and I had Korean. And I had some Spanish classes. See, when you take a Spanish class, it's not just about language, or any language you take. It's about the language, the customs, the people, the country, and everything like that. Just like if I would, for instance, if I would ask you, "Anatawa onamwa na deska," talking to you. Okay, now I said, "Anatawa onamawa na deska," talking to you. That's Japanese. What I'm asking you, what is your name? So what you would tell me would be watashi no kevmak desu. See, that's what you tell me. Okay. And if I would tell you Annyeong hashimika, you would say, oh, that's Korean for how you doing, you as a person and stuff, and I could talk, people always said like I was going to tell my homeboy, said Bird could do this, Bird could speak this many languages, and that's not true. I can understand certain things in certain languages. I know some little tidbits of certain languages, but I can't speak some Japanese, and I speak a whole lot of Spanish, and I understand Portuguese, and I can read Italian and French. So I took all the courses that were related to things I like to do. Ever since I was a little kid, I got a globe up there. I've had a globe all my life, and in the back room back there, the books that never left this house. Okay, from the time I left till today, they never left this house. I have every National Geographic from January '71 to right now, the one that came this month, but I have miscellaneous one from before that. So I was always geographically inclined. I told you that we traveled a lot. Okay, and so what happens is I get to City College, okay, and then a job thing comes up. Okay, I graduated in '72, but the job thing comes up in '77 because I stayed there 5 more years just enjoying my life, enjoying fun, and going to school. All the girls was at school. Yeah, I wasn't looking for no dame walking down the street. I went up to school. I had clean pickings. Okay, and I wasn't trying to be successful at anything particular. I took all of the subjects that I wanted to take, the things that I was interested in, the things I had read in all these little books, and I wanted to see for myself what was really going on. Okay, so therefore I had a worldly attitude. See, I'm from the set. I'm from the neighborhood. But the set in the neighborhood ain't my whole world. See, and I got damn near killed. I got shot at more than anybody from the neighborhood. If I'd have lost my life, that'd have been me going in the ground, not my homeboys and stuff. They might have paid respects, and so a certain amount of them and such on. So success is this. Okay, my daughter, who that phone that just rang a while ago, she asked me one time, what is success to you? I said, well, I'll tell you. Like I tell you, I never answered nothing direct. I said, all these people who are just rolling and balling and living in big homes and got all this, and they said, I've made it, I'm successful. I said, that's swell and well. That's success, if that's where you want to be. And I like to have some of that money. I like to roll nice. But I don't call that success. I say success to me is this. When my mother and father saw me graduate from Cal State to Mingus Hills with a bachelor's degree, okay, and also on the dean's list, okay, when they saw me graduate, okay, and my father he didn't even say congratulations. He just shook his head and said, and in his head, I could probably say, God damn, this fool then finally, did something real big. See, they made it possible for me to become who I am because of everything that they worked for and everything that they had done. So success to me was pleasing my parents. All the rest of that is bullshit. All the other shit is bullshit. See, out of me going to Dominguez Hills and getting my bachelor's, I could have had a master's and a PhD by now. But what do you go to school for? You go to take a subject or some subjects to meet a requirement where you could become this, that, or the other, whatever you want to be. Okay. I didn't really have no intentions on being anything particular. Okay. And so by me going to school and doing all I wanted to do, accidentally and coincidentally, when I first started working community youth gang service, right on the corner of Florence and Upper, I saw a gang service call. I went over and talked to the people, what are y'all doing? And they told me what they were doing. Okay, I told them what my name was and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and so they go back, and so some chick down there, I think her name was Bessie or something. She used to go with one of my homeboys, passed on named Capo, Kenneth Carter. Okay, and she knew who I was. I don't know her. I didn't know her. But when I met her, I still didn't know her. But she knew me. And she told me places that I was, Okay, and so she had heard them talking about me for about 3 weeks. She said, I hear y'all down there talking. Why don't y'all go see him? So this chick named Linda Garcia, she's a Florencita from Florence. She's older than me. She said, well, I know where he lives, just like that. So she called me up, and she said, this guy wanted to meet me, James Joseph. Okay, and so he came over to my house and sat down there and stayed about 2 or 3 hours. He said, man, why don't you come in on Monday? You got a job. I didn't ask for no job. They gave me a job in youth gang services. I worked there from 83 to 86. Okay, but I had graduated from Dominguez Hills. And in the process, Mary Ann, my coworker, she comes back in to the office one day from the Board of Supervisors meeting. And she had 8 applications for California Youth Authority. Okay, and she came and said, yeah, talking to the Chicano, yeah, they need some more Chicanos, California Youth Authority. Okay, and so I asked her, I said, Marianne, they said Chicanos or somebody knows how to speak Spanish? She said, well, actually, they said somebody know how to speak Spanish. So Linda Garcia, the one that's from Florencita, she said, well, they were out of application. She said, well, let me have an application. She's seen the phone number, so she called Sacramento. Okay, and she told me to send an application. I said, well, Linda, when you get through, let me have the phone. Okay, so I talked to Sacramento and told them to send me an application. So they sent me an application and everything that comes. So it's eight Chicanos, okay, that, applied, and me. Okay, now what happens is I got accepted for the go, my application was accepted, make it, that's what. So I go down and go through all the motions, see what was wrong. All of them, they were Chicanos, they were good at what they did, they were smart and everything, but they didn't have no paperwork. See, and I had some paperwork, plus I knew how to speak some Spanish. See, speaking Spanish is one thing. See, when they say, oh, JoJo is bilingual, well, see, bilingual means you speak two things. See, that's not there's a such thing as a full bilingual. A full bilingual knows how to speak, knows how to read, and knows how to write. You can give me anything in Spanish and I can read it. I might not know some of the words, but I can figure out what they're talking about. See, and I can write it. You start talking to me in Spanish, I can write down everything you say. Now, my punctuation might not be absolutely correct, but my spelling would be damn near 99% correct. See, so I had homeboys out here bragging on me. Yeah, Bird goes to college. Bird is a teacher. I got accepted in the bilingual teacher program. When I went to Dominguez, they accepted. It took me 3 years, but I stayed consistent, not inconsistent. And they finally said the only way I could get the job is go to school. Is at Dominguez Hills. Is somebody didn't show up. And then one day in 1982, I had worked at City College for 5 years. Then at City College, I was a tutor, college recruiter, program assistant, and worked in the Learning Skills Center. But let me mention this. One day, 3 girls and 2 guys, Mexicans, come into the Learning Skills Center. They said, we want to tutor for Chicano studies. I said, okay, go have a seat. I'm at the reception desk. The reason why they put me on a reception desk after they found out all them things I just said to you in Korean. I just said Sawadee Klap, which is in Thai and such. They knew I knew how to greet people in more than one tongue, and I can remember it. So when they came, I was at the desk. They said, well, go have see somebody to be with you in a few. And so I called Miss Booth. I said, Miss Booth, can you take the desk? I got somebody that need to be tutored. So I go over there. It's 5 people, 2 guys and 3 girls. So I come out and they looked. They said, well, you the tutor? I said, yeah. The 2 guys got up and split. Okay, 3 girls. I said, what do you have? 19. I said, what do you have? 19, 19, 2, 19, 2, 44. Or I named all of the, it's 5 classes of Chicano studies. And I named them all. I said, which one you got? And they told me. I said, well, Cisneros. I said, well, he uses this book, that book, and the other book. Okay, I said, what you do, listen to his lectures. When he starts smiling and stuff, you start taking notes and such and such. Because he's going to ask you the question. You're all going to read. You can sit down and read the book all day long. But he's going to ask you some questions about something he said. Okay, and they went and done that, and they came, okay, and they made an A. 2 weeks later, the 2 dudes came back with their chin in their chest and their shoulders up around their earlobes. So, hey, man, can we get a tutor? See that, and I wanted to laugh at them because when they walked in, they seen a black dude. What do you know about Chicano? There was another dude who was qualified. The reason I got the job in the first place, it was a dude named Demetrio Maldonado. They call him Bookworm. He's from Florence. We grew up together. He was qualified. He was the tutor, but he was booked up and he couldn't do it. So Cisneros told the people that I'm next. See, they couldn't believe that. See, okay, and so as in the process of that, I came rose higher and out. I used to college recruit. I came all out. I went in East LA section. I went to West LA section. See, well, I'm supposed to be recruiting for LA City College, but I was sneaking across. I even came in the neighborhood down here, which is LACC and stuff. And one homeboy did show up. And then we went to Norco to the pen. A white boy showed up at City because he lived in Hollywood anyway. And see, in other words, by me being able to do that, the college recruiter, and then my background. Okay, when I went to take the test and the stuff for YA, the background investigator, I think his name was Dwayne Johnson. He's a white boy. They had the same name as the Rock. Okay, but the Rock wasn't out then, like that, So he's reading my files. I said, damn. I said, what? He said, I see that you got arrested twice in the same day. I said, oh, yeah, that was October 15, 1962. He said, what? And he looked, he said, damn, you remember the date. I said, well, that ain't nothing. I got arrested 3 times a day in 1959. When I went to 77 at recess, okay, then they let me out. I'm a juvenile, see, but we kept getting into it with people, and they come in and take me to jail. So they let me out. So I came back to school. Right after lunch, we got in the hassle. I go back to 77, and I went to 77 after school. This is for fighting all the time,